Welcome to r/cheating stories, where we get to hear the saddest cheating stories. X is with my friend. My ex and I were together for almost 2 years. We were each other's first loves and first true relationships. We had a mutual good friend, K, that we did everything with for the past year. I used to call us the three amigos. My ex decided to end things with me because he couldn't see a future together. I decided to block him on everything, all social media, his number. I went completely non-contact. Fast forward 2 months, and he asks me to meet up with him for drinks. I decide to go, and we end up having a great time, of course. He flirts with me, asks me to go back to his house. I reject that. He ends up hugging me and kissing my forehead goodbye. I find out that he went on vacation with our mutual friend K, not thinking much of it. The day after we meet up, I confront him about being flirty with me. Why would he flirt if he decided he didn't want to be with me anymore? I also find out that he's going on another vacation with K, which I completely get very angry about. She stopped responding to my texts. I've asked her to hang up multiple times with responses like I'm too busy or I can't because of covered. He knows I'm upset about this friendship loss. He tells me he wants to meet up to talk about it, but I tell him to kick rocks. Fast forward another 2 months, and I find out they've been dating by seeing a picture of them kissing on Instagram. Do I have a right to be upset about this? My friend knew how devastated I was over the breakup and ghosted me. My ex couldn't even be considerate enough to tell me about it. Instead, I have to find out online. I'm heartbroken. What next? Now for the next story. Wife cheated. I'm so angry, I'm scared of myself. I'm doing better. I actually visited a cage fighting club. I should really stress that I do not know how to fight at all. I'm not really in great shape. The few times that ended up in a fight in my youth, I've had my ass beaten badly. I talked to them and explained the situation. They were actually really friendly and eager to help. First they made me work out for 2 hours, and when that didn't take the edge of my anger, they put me in the ring with a very experienced fighter. It was clear he was really gentle with me, and even though I did my best, I didn't even give him a workout. It's pretty clear he let me punch and kick him, but he easily blocked whatever I threw at him. The few times I managed to land a blow with a little bit of force, he was quick to give me a smack back. Since I have no clue what I'm doing, his gentle taps slap me around hilariously. He would always ask if I was okay before proceeding again. He even apologized a few times for hitting me during our little session when he thought he had maybe hit me too hard. Imagine that, apologizing for hitting the opponent in a fight. He clearly didn't see me as an opponent at all. I doubt he would see me as a threat ever. I have a newfound respect for people that know how to fight, and I'm determined to learn it. T1 These guys were the chillest people I have ever met. I want to be as calm as them. My little fight helped a lot. It really took the edge off. I don't have that burning anger. I'm still pissed, but now it's manageable. I will go back for training and more beatings. Still, I don't trust myself to meet my wife. I have talked to my son. I told him that no matter what, we would be okay. I consider him and my son, no matter what happens between his mother and me, appreciated. I think you really appreciated that. I have talked to a few common friends and her parents. Apparently my wife has become sort of unglued. She's been calling and talking to everyone at all hours, day and night. She has apparently confessing everything to almost everyone, and even offering money to anyone that's good put her in touch with me. I was considering only speaking to my wife via a lawyer, but I can't afford that, so I've asked my cousin to act as a go-between. I gave her a few questions to put forwards, so we see where it goes from there. I plan to contact the app's wife next week as well. Some redditors strongly suggested that I talk to my wife and tell her that if I can adopt my son, I will consider reconciliation. But I would never do that. I will not use my son as a pawn in anything ever. As things stand now, I would love to adopt him, but only if he asks me to, and only if I'm sure it's what he wants, and that he isn't influenced or pressured by anyone. I will get through this, I think. I have received so much good advice on here. I feel like I have a plan now to move forwards with. Now for the next story. Always been scared of being in a relationship because of cheating, and this has put me off. Tonight I saw something that truly shocked me and has pretty much scared me for good. Tonight I was at my friend's birthday party, and since he owns a business his employees were invited along. I'm friends with most of the people that work for him, so I was sitting and talking with them most of the night. One of the girls who works there is a very attractive young girl who is in a relationship with some guy I've never met and doesn't work there. Her boyfriend wasn't invited to the party, and at one stage of the night she referred to him as boring. I didn't take much of it, but a few comments were made about him, and she didn't seem to defend him. She just laughed, and the conversation continued. As the night went on and more drinks were consumed, I noticed her sitting on one of the guy's lap, which I didn't think that much of. After the party finished, everyone wanted to continue the night, so we decided to go into town. I was in an Uber XL with her and some other people from the party, where she made what I would call a strategic phone call to her boyfriend, which went along the lines of, "Oh, we are going out into town for a little bit, you should come," knowing he would say no, since it was already late. He, of course, said no, and we continued. At the bar, he and the other guy were sitting across from me, and I noticed her on a few occasions her putting her hand on his you-know-what, which was more obvious by my friend's facial expression, which he returned the favor to her, and she didn't budge or put an end to it. We didn't stay out for much longer after that, but they left in an Uber together, and I don't know what happened from there. Call me an overreaction, but this has truly scared me of being in a relationship, as you'd never know what's going on when you're not with her. It's even scarier as she would be the last person I'd expect to do this, as she seemed like the sweetest girl with good morals. Even if they didn't have sex, I still think what happened was 100% wrong, and I'd be furious if I was her boyfriend. Now for the next story. I'm a terrible friend. I need to get this off my chest. It's eating me up inside. So for the past 2 years, one of my best friends has been dating this really nice girl, down to earth, pretty, funny, all that good stuff. For the story's sake, I'll call her Kate. Kate and my friend have been dating for a while, and over that time I've gotten to know her pretty well. The three of us would all go out on little adventures around town, swap stories, drink beer, etc. Over time I realized Kate and I were becoming really great friends. We started doing our own solo adventures without the boyfriend, making plans after work, etc. I didn't really think anything of it, as I figured I was being a good friend to her. So this went on for a couple months up until New Year's night. I was at this house party outside of town. Pretty packed event, wall to wall people, drinking everywhere. It was dope. I'm enjoying myself, having a good time, and my phone rings. It's Katie. It was odd cause her and her boyfriend were staying in for the night. She tells me they are in a cab and on their way, and she can't wait to see me. Okay, cool, 45-minute cab, but whatever, I'm down more friends to celebrate the new year with. They show up, we party until the wee hours of the morning, until it's just the two of us awake. We are sitting outside talking, figuring out where to crash, when all of a sudden she comes in and kisses me. I'm drunk and foolish, so I return the favor. What proceeds is a massive makeout sesh. My hands end up under her bra and hers in my pants. All the while her boyfriend, my best friend, is passed out 20 feet away. Thankfully we heard footsteps and we stopped, and that's where our night ended. I didn't end up talking to her or my friend for a couple days after it, as I felt terrible. I was full of guilt. I thought about confronting friend and telling him everything, but I waited until I talked to Katie. She convinced me that we were drunk and it was a one-time slip up and it would never happen again. I agreed, and so I stayed quiet. It was fine for a couple weeks afterwards, and then it happened again, and then again, and again. It's been going on like this for months. I feel so guilty, as I know I shouldn't be doing this to my friend, but at the same time I'm so happy when we are alone together. I'm going to be seeing her again tonight, and I know it's going to happen again. I'm a terrible friend and I need help dealing with how to approach this. I've never done anything this horrible before. Now for the next story. How can I fix my marriage? Okay, so I've never posted on here before, but I feel like it may be therapeutic to tell my story, so here I go. Okay, so about a year ago I was living with my best friend and her boyfriend of 3 years. My best friend and I worked together at the time, and she had an affair with a guy who worked with us. A guy we both friends with. Well, when that situation blew up, BC it always does, me and the guy got really close and started dating. I fell so hard for this guy. It was a kind of love I had never known. So fast forward a little bit and we decide to get married. Very fast I know. And things were great. Well, after getting pregnant and then having a miscarriage, I was in a really low place. Then I found out that a month after we lost the baby he had cheated on me with a girl from his work. The girl messaged me and told me everything. It was just one night and she told me a week after it had happened because she had been trying to get a hold of me, but I guess he had gotten on my phone and blocked her from everything on my phone. Well, fast forward to me confronting him and eventually forgiving him. Things get a little better, but I still find it hard to trust him. When that happened we had only been married for 4 months. Well, anyways, a couple months after that he was away for the weekend with military things, and when he got back home there was a night when I just felt like something was off. So after he went to sleep I looked through his phone. I mean searched it, and I found that he had downloaded a texting app and then deleted it. So I of course re-downloaded it, and lo and behold, he had messaged a different girl he used to work with. He was trying to do it again. Nothing happened with this girl, but for me, it's the fact he was even thinking about doing that again. And now he is always so short with me, and most of the time I feel like he couldn't care less about me. So I guess my question is, what do I do to now? I don't understand what went wrong or what I can do to fix it. I have given him everything. I stopped talking to best friend. BC he asked me to. I left my job to stay home. BC he asked me to. I deleted social media. BC he asked me to. I just don't know what more I can do to make him happy. So please leave suggestions. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Now for the last story. History of cheating. Hey guys, I'm not sure if this will be all that interesting, but advice is appreciated. My grandmother and mother are both mentally ill and thrive off of drama. They both are narcissists and don't seem to truly care about anyone other than themselves. That being said, they both are totally okay with cheating, as long as it's them doing the act. My mom was cheated on by my dad, who cleaned up his act when they divorced, and was a great father until his death last year, but then cheated on her second husband with a 20-something-year-old coworker. Her excuse is that Ryan wasn't there for her, and he was a terrible husband. I think it's funny that she only divorced him after hooking up with the coworker. My grandma is in the process of divorcing my grandfather. She keeps going out of state to visit friends and even confided in me about having sex with an old flame. She talks about him and says she loves him. The only reason she stays with my grandpa is because he's sick and has a huge life insurance policy. He gets so much better when she's gone, so the doctors are double checking everything to see if it's stress. My problem is, I'm scared that this history of cheating will affect me and my partner. I'm scared he'll decide that I'm going to cheat, or that I actually will cheat. I don't think I will, but the apple doesn't fall far from the tree, I guess. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. Have an amazing day.